Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Andrea and I'm your host here at the Knitting PT YouTube channel. You can find me on Instagram at TheKnittingPT, where I post maker self-care reels on how to take care of your body to keep it happy while you craft. I'm an orthopedic physical therapist. That's my background and that's my expertise. Yeah, and you can find all links to everything down below in the description box, my website, Ravelry, Ko-Fi, Patreon. Anything else? I think that's it. On my website, you'll also find my appointments page where you can make appointments for virtual ergonomic consults, and also my shop where I sell, sorry, there are gnats flying around, where I sell merchandise like massage balls that come with videos on how to use them, and on-demand videos for various parts of your body for strengthening and stretching. I am currently working on a new product that will be launched hopefully within the next month. I'm really excited about it, actually. Super excited. I just can't get myself to work on the administrative parts of it that need to be done. Now that all the fun stuff is done with, I need to make myself buckle down and do the businessy side of this stuff. So yeah, so I'm aiming to launch it sometime in June of this year. Yeah, so I think that's it for our intro, right? This is my podcast where I talk about all things about yarn, fiber, knitting. Occasionally I crochet, though I haven't done it in a long time. I am a new spinner, so I also talk about my spinning journey also. Yeah, and I just got back from a really exciting trip to Salt Lake City where I got to hang out with Aro and Megan, Aro.knits.n.purls and Kimchi & Co., my dear friends. I finally made my way out there to visit them. I was there for a whirlwind 48 hours. It was literally 48 hours. I also taught a class at the Seed Stitch store, which was so much fun. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of great questions. So thank you to everyone who came out. And thank you to Kim for having me. Yeah, and so I know I said that I was gonna vlog my trip. Didn't quite happen, mostly because I pretty much only packed for my trip like the day of. You know, I have 2 young kids, so our weekdays are full of activities like extracurriculars, them going to school. And so by the time it came for me to pack, I was trying to pack really minimally and not bring a lot of stuff because I was really only going for 48 hours. So my camera did not make it on there into my bag, but I did take as many photos as I could remember to. And so at the end of this video, I will put them together into a kind of like video montage with some captions to describe kind of where we were, what we were doing. So if you want to see that, stick around for that at the end. If you don't want to see it, then you can just stop the video. Yeah, but it was so much fun. We ate a lot of good food. Aura and Megan took me all around. I felt like we did a lot in those 48 hours, but it didn't feel draining, if that makes sense. Maybe that's just kind of like a testament to our friendship a little bit. Like, so I'm a huge introvert, and so it takes a lot out of me to be very social. But I think that with Aura and Megan, you know, we've been good friends for about 2 years now, and I think it's just I feel so comfortable with them that it doesn't feel as socially draining at all. You know, don't get me wrong, I was still tired, but it wasn't draining to the point where like I wanted to go like crawl in a hole and hide. Yeah, and I think part of it is that maybe it was just so much fun. It really was. Aro, Megan, thank you so much for taking your weekend to really just show me around, and they were so sweet. They prepared a lovely picnic surprise, and it was really a lot of fun. I had a really great time, so I'm so glad that I went out to see them. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to the regular content. First is what I'm wearing. So what I'm wearing is my Moonset tee by Ozetta. And this pattern I knit together with Aro and Megan. They knit the Moonset pullover, which is the long sleeve version. And we knit ours together and we took photos together, which you will have, we've all already posted some of the photos that we took on our pages on Instagram. But mine is in Woolberry Fiber Co. in the Berry Merino base, which is 100% superwash merino. This is the colorway Swan Lake, which was a collective colorway from last summer. Yeah, I really love it. I love the neckline. I really do. It's like super classy. I like that it's a V-neck because it helps me feel like my neck can breathe, but it's not low where I feel like I have to wear like a camisole underneath. I have some summer tees I've knit where the V-neck was deeper than I was comfortable with, and so I always have to wear something underneath with it, which then kind of for me defeats the purpose of a summer tee. Like if I'm wearing a knit item in the summer, I want to be able to wear it by itself and not with another layer underneath. Yeah, so I love this. I definitely want to make more of these. I want to make the pullover version too after seeing theirs. Yeah, I just really like it. It's got the I-cord bind off edge finish here. Yeah, I really like it. Don't mind the line in the middle for me folding it and putting it in my suitcase. Yeah. But yeah, I really like it. It's super comfortable. Yeah, again, like I said, like full coverage. I love the polished look of the neckline. Yeah, could not recommend it more. Really love this pattern. And so that's my finished object too for this week. I'm trying to remember. It's been, I think, 3 weeks-ish since I last filmed, so I'm kind of like, feel kind of discombobulated. Can't really remember what I was talking about last time, pretty much. Yeah, so let's move on to works in progress. Okay, so for works in progress, I have a new cast on and I have some updates on my ongoing ones. Let's start with the updates. So first is my Miles shirt jacket. This is another pattern by Ozetta. I'm on a little bit of an Ozetta kick, if you can't tell, and I've made pretty good progress on this too. So last time I showed this on the podcast, I had finished the body and started a sleeve. So now I have started a sleeve. Yes, I started a sleeve. I didn't finish one. So now I finished both sleeves here, and I've done one button band. Let's see, where is it? Nope, that's the side I'm working on. I've done one button band, and I'm working on the other one. So what I've got left to do is then it's got a folded collar around the top, folded collar, and then attach the pockets and then block. So I'm hoping to have this done by the next time I record, and that'll feel so nice. Let me put it on just so you can kind of see how it looks. It's kind of big, so it's hard to show off on camera. And of course, now that I've finished, once I have it finished, it's been pretty warm here in New Jersey recently. Like today, the high's gonna be 80s, so won't be able to wear it, but that's okay. I'll have it ready for the fall. Okay. So here's what it looks like so far. This is the side where I'm working on the button band. Yeah, but I like it. I think the sleeve length is good. This is with it unblocked. I think it'll maybe grow a tiny bit with blocking. Yeah. It all looks kind of, it's still all quite unfinished. Like the collar's gonna pick up from here and go around, so yeah. But overall, I think it'll be really great when it's finished. I'm already sweating wearing that. I am knitting this in Durham Natura in the Gilead base, and the colorway is Tempet. All right, next work in progress. I'll just show it to you real quick because I do like how it's looking right now. This is the Building Blocks cardigan by Aimee Sher, and oh, I'm right in the middle of a row, of course. So this project has become the project I take with me when my kids go to swimming classes, mostly because I'm just working in stockinette back and forth right now, so it's very easy to pick up, put down, that kind of thing. I don't need to remember where I am, so I'm kind of right in the middle of a row here. But let's see, here we go. This is what it's looking like so far. It is bottom up. I got a split hem here. This is the pink is from the provisional cast on. And yeah, take a look at that. I love the tweedy look of this. Again, it's going to be a great layering piece for fall. It's going to be too warm to wear it by the time I'm done, but that's okay. I'm just going to work on it slowly throughout the rest of spring and summer, basically. The yarn I'm using for this is from Purl Soho, and it is their hedgerow base, which is 93%, I can't read backwards, merino, 3.5% mulberry silk, 3.5% cashmere. It's very toothy and rustic, but it's very light. Yeah. So that's that one. The next work in progress is a test knit. This is my test knit for quarter 2. If you're new here, I used to test knit a lot. Like I'd usually have like 2 test knits at least on the needles at all times. I decided in 2023 I want to take a step back from that so I could do more personal projects like all these Ozetta designs I've been wanting to knit up and everything else. And so I've committed to only doing 1 test knit a quarter. So for quarter 1, I did the Downtown Hoodie by Tori Knits, and for quarter 2 I am test knitting the Slightly Sassy V for Aimee Sher. Aimee is one of my favorite designers of all time. Really love the way their patterns fit, the attention to detail. I love everything about them and what they stand for too. So yeah. So this is mine. I am fairly close to being finished. So there's if you're new to Aimee's patterns, a lot of them have different views in them, like a view A, a view B, and then you can mix and match. So with the Slightly Sassy V, the same thing. There's either a cropped length or a high hip length, and short sleeves or long sleeves. So I am doing the high hip length short sleeve. So here is what I've got so far. So I finished the body here. And I am finishing up one of the sleeves. And so I've got another short sleeve to do, and then there's an I-cord edging for the V-neck. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I've tried it on already. It fits great so far. Super excited. I am knitting the size C, which is, I believe, is it a 40-inch chest circumference? I can't remember. I'm knitting the size C. I actually usually knit a size B in Aimee's patterns, but I was redoing my measurements recently and I discovered that my bust is like an inch more than I thought it was, which explains why some of the things I've been knitting, maybe there's less positivities than I thought there would be. But I decided with this one, with the T, I wanted to have a little bit more ease, so I am knitting a size up from what I usually do, and I think it's working out really great. You know, I find that as I'm getting older and as I am growing more into myself as a person, my style is changing. So in my 20s, I used to wear like really fitted things, and part of that was because probably I looked good in fitted things at the time, and I was comfortable in them. But after having my kids and my body shape changing a lot, you know, not just weight change, but like my body shape changed, like my rib cage expanded, my hips expanded. I am much more comfortable in just like more flowy items, things that have a little bit more ease, but have still a slight more like fitted structure to them. Like for example, I'm really comfortable in this moonset tee right here. So I have maybe like 2 to 3 inches of positive ease, and I'm fairly comfortable in that. Yeah, like I don't want to wear something super oversized, especially for tea. I find that my preference changes depending on the season. Like for the summer, I like things that have like, I probably prefer like 3 inches of positive ease, because I still want the flow too. I still want the airflow, but I don't want to be drowning in it. And then in the winter, I prefer things with more positive ease, probably like 5 to 6 inches, because I want that cozy feel. I want that cozy oversized feel. So yeah, and yeah, my style preference is changing. I like high-waisted things a lot now. I'm really getting into linen pants and linen skirts. During my trip to Salt Lake City, I discovered that maybe overalls might be a thing I want to wear. Yeah, I tried on like 2 pairs of overalls in a store, and I kind of like the way they look. So now I'm on the hunt for overalls. Yeah, so if you have any linen overall or cotton overall suggestions, drop them down below. The ones I tried on in the store were Carhartt, which is kind of pricey and also kind of thick actually. So I want something a little bit more lightweight. I am looking at, what's it called? Is it called Emmy and Yak? Lucy and Yak. Lucy and Yak. I'm looking at their dungarees, but they don't have my size in stock right now. And I'm also looking at Not Perfect Linen, which I have several of their linen items and I really like them, so I'm thinking about getting something from them too. But anyway, so yeah, so like I said, my style is evolving. I think I'm starting to settle into more of what I find will be comfortable for my daily life, but also, what's the word? It's comfortable and stylish, but also makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Because, you know, I am a mom of young kids. I do need to be able to move around a lot and sit on the ground and all those things. So, yeah. All right, sorry, that was a large tangent. The yarn I'm using for this test knit is from Little Skein in the Big Wool. This is in the smooth sock base, and the colorway is Hester Gray's Garden. And it's this beautiful like gray lavender based with some slight, you know, greenish variegation throughout. Like it's really, it can really change in the light. Like right now I think it looks pretty gray. But in certain lights, the purple undertones really come through. Yeah, it's very lovely. All right, now to share my new cast on. So this is one that I haven't even talked about. Like I think the last episodes in my future plans, I talked about casting on a Karina tee, talked about casting on for the patchwork pullover. Haven't done either of those. Instead, I have kind of impulse cast on another tee. And this is also, I'm doing this together with Aro and Megan. We are going to be reuniting for Rhinebeck in the fall. And so we have been busy kind of planning all our Rhinebeck sweaters together. And I can't wait. So this is not a Rhinebeck sweater because, well, actually, I guess it could be because it is DK weight. So depending on how cold it is, we probably still could wear it a little bit. But it was more so, this was a top that came out recently. We all really wanted it, so we just decided, you know what, let's just do it. So this is the Morning Ritual top by Olga. I can't remember her last name, but I'll put it down below. It's bottom up. It's got a color work, not a yoke, but it's like color work right before sleeve separation. So this is how I've got so far. I am almost to sleeve separation, basically. But yeah, and then the top will be all pink. So I cast this on, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. This was basically the only project I brought with me to Salt Lake, so I worked on this for the entire weekend. I had delays with my flight coming back home, so I got a lot of knitting done in the airport. So yeah, so I think before I went to Salt Lake, I was probably up to like here. So I got all of this done in a weekend. Yeah. Really impressed with myself. But also when you're waiting at an airport for 3 hours at a gate, you kind of get a lot of knitting done too. Yeah. So the yarns I am using for this is, let's see, I'm trying to pull, do I have ball bands in here? I thought I did. I do. Okay. So the first one. So this blue-green color. This is from Tot Le Matin yarns, and this is in their taupe cotton base, which is 50% cotton, 50% merino. This is the colorway Till You. Yeah, I've made a tee in this base before, and I really like it. I am holding a double because it is a DK weight garment. And it's originally designed using the Madeline Tosh merino cotton yarn, which is DK weight. So yeah, I'm just holding mine double. And then my pink is Knitting for Olive, pure silk, also holding it double. And the colorway is Rhubarb Juice. Yes, so here's the ball of it. Yeah, so this is my first time working with Knitting for Olive pure silk. I really like it so far. You know, it almost feels cotton-like because it's kind of dry to the touch and more like stringy, which is very interesting. I think it was the last episode I went on this whole thing where I was trying to describe silk as being sticky, but not, and whatever. But I think this is a good example of what I was talking about because, like, if you can see me feeling it, it's not slippery, this pure silk. But it's soft, it's got a lot of drape, but it's not slippery. It is kind of grippy a little. Maybe because of the way it's just 100% silk and the way it's plied and spun. I don't know. I don't really know much about that. If you know, drop it down in the comments down below. But yeah, I am really liking this tee so far. Yeah. I'm hoping to have it done soon too because I think my time here to wear a DK weight summer tee, even though it isn't in cotton and silk, will be limited because New Jersey gets very humid in the summer. And when it gets humid, I sweat a lot and I don't want to wear anything knit because I don't want to sweat in it that much. So yeah, so I'm hoping to finish this up soon too so I can wear it before it gets too hot to wear it. But yeah, the color work is so striking and so pretty. All right, now on to, well, I guess the segment is called Future Plans. But future plans as in I got yarn and I don't have plans for them. So when I went to Seat Stitch store to teach in Salt Lake, I of course had to get some yarn as a souvenir. So I got some yarn. And I made it a point to get yarns that, like from dyers that were new to me, like that I'd never tried before. So believe it or not, I've never tried Farmer's Daughter. I've never tried Farmer's Daughter before. So I got some Farmer's Daughter. I got Sweater Quantity. This is the Squish Worsted. It's 100% superwash merino, 218 yards. This is the color Waylon and Willie. Yeah, it's this beautiful cream base with all these blue, green, gray speckles. Very me, and if you believe it or not, I actually don't have anything like this. I have a lot of cream yarn with speckles, but not with speckles are blue and green. And yeah, it's like super squishy. Couldn't stop squishing it. Yeah. And then I also got some Plucky Knitter. And you know, Plucky Knitter is a yarn that I knew about before I was really into indie dyed yarns. And back then, you know, I knew it was really hard to get. This was like in the early 2010s. And it was when Plucky Knitter was like super popular. It was really hard to get it and all this stuff. And then I feel like the hype kind of died a little bit. That or it's just Instagram kind of took over, and then all these indie dyers on Instagram were, you know, yeah. Anyway, but so this was my first time seeing Plucky Knitter. And so I got some, and I got this. So this is the Tweedy Fingering, 437 yards, 100%, no, 87% Peruvian Merino, 13% Donegal Viscose, which is the tweed. And this is the colorway Bohemian Blue. And it's this beautiful dark blue base with tweed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I got like a third skein too for fingering weight. Usually fingering weight I get 2 to 3 skeins for Sweater Quantity. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I got from Seat Stitch store to remind me of my trip there. I have no plans for these. Yeah, but I'm sure the plans will come up because they always do. All right, so in my spinning journey this week, I have some exciting things to show you. So first off is I finished my second spin. I believe last time I had just started, I finished spinning the kind of like gray Corriedale, and I was starting in the middle of the dark blue spin of the Corriedale. And I decided to apply those two together, and this is what it looks like. Okay, ready? Look at that. It's huge. So this is about 7.5 grams or so. Weighs 7.5 grams, and by my probably highly inaccurate measurements of how much yardage there is, there's about just shy of 300 yards. If you look at it, it's very thick. Like, let me compare this to a DK weight. So if you look at the, yeah. So this is probably, I think, an Aran weight. It's pretty close to Aran weight. You know, if you just look at the yardage is like 4 ounces. So usually one skein of yarn is like 4 ounces. So this divided in half is about like 150 yards for 4 ounces. So that's pretty close to like Aran weight. Yeah. So yeah, it's big. I got a little excited when I was applying and just decided to apply it all together all at once. So I ended up with this huge skein, which is so huge and thick that I couldn't even twist it into an actual skein shape, which is why this is kind of like this like little mound. Look, it's as big as my head. Yeah. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. Like, it's Aran weight. I have just shy of 300 yards. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. I guess probably like a hat or a cowl of some kind. I definitely have more than I need for a hat, so maybe a cowl, I think. I'm gonna sit on it and think. I think it should be workable, You know, it doesn't look like it's gonna fall apart. But I think the lessons I've learned from this one is I've got to apply my singles thinner still. Not apply, I've got to spin my singles thinner still. And when I apply, I think I've got to give it more twist. You know, it's not super twisted. I think if I let it twist more, it'll also turn out to be a thinner weight, perhaps. Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with it. You know, you can still see it's inconsistent, but it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. I have like very little of those like the kinkly bits in there. There's not a lot of kinkly bits in there, which I'm pretty proud of. There is some like kind of slightly unspun looking bits, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. I take it apart to show you the whole thing, but then I think I'm gonna struggle to put it back together. So sorry, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, but like I'm so happy with it. I can't stop looking at it and squishing it. It's so large. It is so large. Like seriously, it is the size of my face. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do next for spinning is I think I'm going to spin this. So this is Rambouillet Roving from Yoni Makes. Yeah, the colorway is Pine Rain, and there's about 4.15 ounces in this braid, this roving braid. So yeah, I think this is what I'm going to try next. Very spring color. Yeah. And it's you know what's interesting to me, I think, is that, so this is Corriedale, okay? I have touched in, like, put up to my neck, like, the Corriedale bases from, like, Lobby and Aimee, and they feel very rustic to me. Like, I would not work with them. But this feels actually fairly soft. Like, I think if I hold it up, I can feel a slight prickle. It's really not as rough as I thought it would be. And it's interesting, like, spinners out there, is there something different? Like with when you spin things yourself, does it turn out softer maybe? Because, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. There's a slight prickle. Slight. But it's not like, it doesn't jump out at me right away. I've got to like really concentrate to feel it. It could be different when I like knit it up. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, this Rambouillet feels very soft right now too. But yeah, it could be different. But yeah, so this is my next spin. It's gonna be this. Yeah. All right, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you again for watching and for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything. And I'm hoping by the next time I return, I will have new cast-ons, such as the cast-ons I told you I would cast on, because I really do want to cast those on too. I just am getting distracted. Anyway, so yeah, so I will be back in 2 to 3 weeks with new things to show you, new things to talk about. Hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks too, I'll be able to tell you about the product I'm launching. Yeah, let's make that a goal. Why don't we? Yeah, so if you want, stay and watch the rest of the episode to see my Salt Lake City mini vlog. And I will see you guys next time. Happy knitting!